Welcome back. I'm your host, Jade,
And I'm Benson.
and this is another collision round.
As you all know, the Aztecs and Incas conquered the Spaniards.
What? That's wrong.
You're right. In fact, the Spaniards conquered the Aztecs and the Incas. But why is that? I mean, the Aztecs and Incas had the overall advantage in numbers and were brave and strong soldiers. But before we go there, let's look at the Aztecs. Yes, as we can see here, the Aztecs settled at Lake Texcoco either in 1325 or 1345. It seemed that the emperor first saw an eagle perched on a cactus with a snake in its mouth. Well, he saw it as a sign of God and decided to settle there. Well, it seems that because of the snake-eating eagle perched on a cactus, they decided to settle on this marshy island and live there. And because of this, they started to build their great city in the lake by driving stakes into the soft, marshy ground by fortifying it with mud and stone. This prepared the ground to have a strong foundation laid atop it and allowed them to build great palaces and temples, as well as the houses of the commoners, in the middle of a lake. By building and making their own city, they were able to understand more things and were even able to make canals, which they used for transportation for people and goods. Unlike today, we use even more advanced forms of transportation, like cars, airplanes, trucks, and helicopters. But we do still use boats and canoes, except they go even faster and are more sturdier. But that's okay, Aztecs. For your time, that's still pretty great. Well, just like the Aztecs built their own cities and conquered the Incas, they did the same. Although the Incas didn't really see a sign of God like the Aztecs, they did build their own city in 1300, and they founded their city capital, Cusco, in South America. Now then, the emperor of the Incas is known as the Sapa Inca, which means unique Inca. I mean, he's the emperor, so of course he has to be unique. He was ruler of all the Incas, and in fact he was supposed to own everything because, I'm the unique Inca, and I own everything. Anyways, both of these civilizations were able to find their own place to settle on and begin their way of life. Both of these civilizations were both strong, not just in their physique, but mentally as well. In fact, the Aztecs made their children go to school even when they were learning how to farm, cook, fish, and feed. In school, they learned about history, religion, dance, and music. And noble children learned how to read, write, mathematics, religion, and even astrology. Astrology. I don't know about you, but I can't tell the difference of Orion and Leo.
Wait, Benson.
Oh, yes.
If the Aztecs and Incas were so smart and all, then why did they get conquered in the first place?
That's a great question, Maddie. Before the Spaniards conquered the Incas, smallpox began to spread, which weakened the Incas and gave the Spaniards an advantage. The Aztecs' goal when fighting was to capture, not kill. But the Spaniards didn't care about killing. This gave the Aztecs a great disadvantage. When fighting, the Aztecs would wear stiffened quilted cotton to protect themselves. The clothing for everyday lives differed between class and gender. The Aztec high class wore cotton clothes and feathered headdresses, and the ordinary people and slaves wore clothing made of plant fibers and were not allowed to wear cotton. The poor Incas would wear alpaca wool, while the rich ones would wear vicuna wool. The boys would wear loincloths and tunics, while the girls would wear a long dress with a cloak fastened with a brooch. The Incas were divided into separate social classes. At the top was the Sapa Inca, or emperor. Below him were the nobles. Next was the Curiacas, and at the bottom were the farmers and craftsmen. The Aztecs were also divided into classes. At the top was the emperor, then the nobles and priests, with the merchants after them.